I picked up a cobra maggot and then the cobra rat. And then I picked up a big giant shogun warrior,
Oh yeah, there was
which
a
you
lot
can
of
kind of
different
see
stuff.
behind me there.
There was a lot of stuff at the show. It was a quite eclectic show, but it was mostly 12-inch. But there was a lot of other stuff. I was eyeing a few things, trying to negotiate some deals and things, but nobody was biting. And I wasn't there on Sunday. I was only the show wasn't there on Sunday, so they only had Friday and Saturday, and they weren't biting on my negotiations. So I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I had about a 45-minute conversation with Daryl the priest.
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah,
talking
we
to him back and forth. I
ironed
was
some
talking.
things out, which was cool. And then
He's a really cool guy.
yeah, oh, yeah, he's gonna sit down for an interview with me at some point. And then yeah, it was a fun show. It was obviously the glaring hole in our hearts. We were missing Terry,
Yeah,
but
that was
Terry
really
had bigger
sad.
fish to fry, and which most understandably so. So
Yeah, everybody I told that he wasn't going to be there was very sad, and they were like, "Well, what's going on?" I said, "His baby is being born, and he's in the hospital and stuff." It's oh, okay. Several people knew what was going on, like Joe Beth Williams. They
Yeah.
knew what was going on. A couple other
I had
people.
somebody come up and say, "Where's your boy at?" I was going to get something. He's gone. I'm like, it's the hospital, man. Having a baby. We don't got time for babies. I'm like, yeah, we do. Right now, we do. We got to take care of a baby first.
So
Yeah.
we're live, and we're just coming off the Kentuckiana toy show, getting into SDCC, and yeah, I missed I missed Kentuckiana. I missed getting to see you guys. So
Yeah, I was sad. It was sad.
I
We
think
were
you
really
had a
looking
very
forward to that.
you had a very valid excuse.
yes,
Yeah, not a valid excuse. Yep.
my son was born that Thursday. Well, actually, he was born that Friday morning. So, but
Yeah, what a heck of a weekend for you guys. Glad everybody's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I'm glad everybody's okay, and you have a healthy boy now, and
yeah, we're excited and super happy to have him. And his big sister is just absolutely in love. So
That's great.
is he a quiet child or is he a noisy child? What type of child do you think he is?
quiet.
Quiet.
He's been pretty quiet.
That's good, I suppose.
No, he's only a few days old, but is he like a Joe or a Cobra? Where's the stance?
Don't know yet.
He's a dreadnought.
Yeah, he's a dreadnought. The only thing that he wants is chocolate donuts and grape soda.
Oh, that's great.
Oh man.
Doctors are like, it's unusual for the child's first words to be dreadnoughts and to speak at this early age.
Right.
Oh no. You're like, oh no, I know what that is. Don't worry about it.
Did he come out doing this?
He did. As a matter of fact, yeah.
Oh wow. Well, that's good. I'm glad everybody's doing all right and everybody's happy and stuff. That's wonderful. He looks
So you were
beautiful.
talking about some stuff that you picked up, David. What'd you get at the show?
Oh my god, I got so much stuff. I got well, it's a combination of a bunch of things that I got through the whole week because I was there for like a week and a half. So
Yeah, you took a little road trip to come up.
yeah, I did a whole like 5-state like tour, and so I did Atlanta, then I went to Tennessee, then Kentucky, did a bunch of stuff in Kentucky. I also went to Ohio, Indiana, and then came back to Kentucky, came back down through Georgia again. So I did a whole huge thing, and I bought a lot of comics. I got some Masters of the Universe. I got this Night Force vehicle, my last Night Force vehicle. I won't say my last, but one of the last Night Force vehicles that I needed. I only have 2 more to go, and then I'll have every single Joe from 82 to 94. I don't know the name of it because they changed the name of these things, so I don't know the name of it.
That is quite the undertaking to have every single Joe that was released from 82 to 94. Now you're talking about American releases only, right?
Yes, American releases only. Yep. And then I
Not
got
a lot of people have that full run.
No, it's hard because they're expensive. Some of that stuff is expensive. Knife Force, that's why it's taken me so long to get them all. They're expensive, and they were not cheap at the convention either. And there was opportunities to get like a Night Boomer, plenty of Night Boomers. But if you want to spend $1,800, be my
Oh.
guest. That's not me.
Oof.
Get the convention Night Boomer.
Yeah. And then I got my favorite mask vehicle, the Hurricane. It does not come with Hondo McLean. I did not get Hondo McLean. That was my favorite vehicle. But I got tons of comics, tons of what else did I buy? I'm trying to think of everything. I got some Masters of the Universe figures, the classic Masters of the Universe.
Now, are you talking about the classics, the 7-inch figures?
The ones that were have been released at Walmart over the last 5 years or so.
Oh, so the Origins, okay.
Origins Classics. I don't know what the name. They changed the name of these things. I've
The
been trying to
classics
get all
are
those.
the classics, I believe, are a 7-inch type.
That was
figure.
the Mattel collector, Matty
You're
collector.
talking about the
stuff.
Matty collector line. Yeah, I have about a couple hundred of those already, but I'm talking the ones from the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Masterverse and Origins.
Well, these ones, they look like the vintage ones because they have
Origins.
the bow-legged arms and legs
Yep.
stuff, but they're much more like eclectic. There's a lot more stuff in that, like Sunman and a whole bunch of weird stuff that never was in the vintage one.
Now, I had a bunch of those and ended up selling them to a buddy of mine. They just weren't for me.
Well, I'm a Masters guy. I'm not obviously a big enough Masters guy where I feel I can be dangerous or anything. I know enough about Masters. It was probably, I got Masters before I got G.I. Joe as a child. It was probably 81, I think, early 82, you know. And
I
then
think that was a common theme with everybody, actually, because I remember getting Masters and then G.I. Joe afterwards.
right. And so I've always been a Masters fan, and I have a lot of Masters. I don't have as much Motu as G.I. Joe and Star Wars, and I got a few Star Wars figures, some weird carded ones. I'm trying to think, but I bought tons and tons of comics. Every time we went to a toy store, every time we went to a comic shop, at Kentuckiana, any place I went, half-price books, I found comics 50 cents, $1, and I probably bought 2 long boxes worth of comics in my whole trip. And even at Dan's store, I got 2 G.I. Joes. I got his graphic novels, both of them. And I got an exclusive poster. And I had this really wonderful writer sign my graphic novels.
You got the Dominus graphic novels?
Both of them.
I still don't have those.
And
That could be remedied.
I've looked through them, perused them very heavily, but I haven't gotten into reading them yet. So I gotta get it. I've been still trying to catch up from all my trip and everything that's going on and everything. So I haven't gotten to read them thoroughly yet. I plan on it in the next week or so.
David, I would suggest when you read them, read the first one and then give it about 2-3 days and read the second one.
All right, I will.
Yeah, because there's a time gap in between the two, about a year and a half, and it'll give you time to kind of like digest everything, and then when you read the second one, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I know what's going on here.
And I think I bought a couple of Valiant comics from Dan in his dollar bins, from Zone Comics.
Valiant, wow, that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Well, there's a story behind Valiant. When I was young, when I was really heavy into comics, I was a big speculator, comic collector. So I would buy a lot of the new companies that would come out in the early 90s. There was tons of new companies. Dark Horse is really hitting it hard. Malibu was really hitting it hard. There was the new Ultraverse, Image, Valiant, Tops, I guess it's called Tops. A whole bunch of these companies were coming out. And so I was speculating. So I was buying a lot of this stuff. It was fairly cheap back then. You could get a comic for 65 cents to $1 very easily. So you could buy a lot of comics for like $20. So I was speculating. So I bought Valiant, and there was a huge spike in the popularity of Valiant after the first year. And if you flipped your Valiant, you could like triple or quadruple the value that you got on those. So I did that. Took all my Valiant, sold it to a store, got like quadruple the value of what I spent, probably $100, and it probably only cost me $10 maybe. $20 at most for those first several years of Valiant. So I've always regretted that, and now I'm going back and buying all that again, but I'm not buying it full value. I'm actually buying it cheaper than cover value at like 50 cents or $1 now, because Valiant is like a bad brand now, I guess. I don't know.
They've had
was
some
another one
huge
that I was
struggles.
Huh?
They've had some huge struggles here in the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, they keep rebranding it. Someone keeps buying the company. It's been bought like 10 times. So I only wanted to get the first iteration of it. So I've been buying a lot of that recently.
Yeah, sadly they don't have all the characters. They only have a few. And then sadly they hired somebody, I won't say that person's name, but this person's kind of a cancer in the comic book industry. Although this person is celebrated for some unknown reason. And this person brought in some really bad talent and pretty much tanked Valiant to where they couldn't even afford to put out a comic every month. So it took them forever to rebound. And now I think they might be going out. They're going through IDW or somebody else now. They don't even have an imprint or a publishing house
teaming
or
up.
something.
There's a bunch
That's
of companies
sad, man.
teaming up with it's what is it called? IDWNO. I don't know what it's called, but they brought 3 companies or 4 companies together to form one company now. It's weird. Yeah. So I had a really good time. We went to King's, whatever the heck the name of that.
Kings Island.
Kings Island. It was pretty good. If you go there, I recommend that you get the food deal. If you spend to get the food ticket, $75, you can eat as much food through the day as you want. You can go to ice cream places, you can go to restaurant, any themed restaurant, and just 1 or 2 visits, you make that $75. So if you
I am just not one for theme parks.
Well, we didn't do a lot of rides, but I did want to drive this Ford. There was this old Ford, like, I don't know, like from the 1919 Ford, one of those really, and there was a ride, you could ride that, and I got to drive it.
Oh, that's cool.
You couldn't go fast. The freaking speed thing on it, you could barely move it. It was so freaking rickety. It was like, what the frick is this? So we went on a few rides. We took a train ride. We did a couple things. I did the bumper cars, and I was hitting all the kids. And some snot-nosed kid comes and hits me in the side. I'm like, kid, what have I ever done to you? I've never met you. What the frick? It slams me into the side. I was very upset with this kid.
I'll tell you what I want to do.
That's when you show him that picture of Cobra Commander kicking the puppy. You'd be like, that could be you, kiddo.
Yeah.
In Shelbyville, in Shepherdsville. They have that go-kart track by the hotel where the Kentucky Anacon is.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go there.
Well, we're going to make a point to go there next year since you mentioned it. Hopefully there's not another baby on the way.
There will not be another baby on the way.
All right.
Yeah, there will not be another baby on the way. Not by me.
I had to make a couple of car trips, like dropping off stuff that I picked up. And I kept hearing this loudspeaker and this noise. And I was like, where in the world is that coming from? Is there like a ball game going on or something? And then I realized the go-kart place was right next door. I was like, that's where all that's coming from.
Hey, real quick, couple things I'm working on. Putting this together, this hydro sled for Mike Samsel. Just had a birthday. Get that put together. I've got a couple of other things I'm working on here. Cobra Asp.
Oh my God, look how big that is.
That's
huge,
cool.
man. It's huge. I'm going to print the tires and TPU. Yeah, everything works. Everything moves.
Wow,
I
man.
mean, it's
Were you going to have that at Kentuckiana?
no. I'm just getting the sizing worked out on it. I'm actually going to print it a slight bit bigger than what the files are, just to make the figures fit a little better. But that's going to be a cool piece when it gets done.
Yeah, that looks huge, much bigger than. That's the thing. People don't realize these classified, scaled up things. You may not think that they would be as big, but in order to fit a legitimate classified figure, here's my breaker from Target. That's like big. And to
Yeah.
make a vehicle for this to fit in, it's got to be at least 3 times the size of this figure.
So typically they are 160% the size of an ARAH figure. If you are going from these 3.75 inch figures, and if you're scaling it from the 4-inch figures, it comes out to be about 165% the size.
Wow, that's pretty big. That's why I wish people would back that poor Snowcat, because it is huge. There was a couple
that's the thing with these too, man. A 6-inch figure scaled up from 3.75 is actually a little bit more than 160%.
Yikes.
So speaking of 160%,
right at 160%.
Wow.
The 4-inch, the 4-inch figures it's a slight bit bigger.
The HasLab is still not funded. We're almost a month into it. Tomorrow will be a month, and we are not funded yet. We're at like 7.4 something or whatever.
Well, since you want to talk about that, David, here we go. 73.65, sir. I already had it pulled up for us.
Last time I checked, it was 40 something. Wow. So it's
Yeah.
jumping up. Well, we may be funded by tomorrow.
We might, man.
Holy cow.
73.65 is the funding level on it as of right now. And that's live on the site.
I'm astonished.
I want to say a couple things about this. Of the previous G.I. Joe classified HasLabs, this one is going the slowest.
Oh, I've heard this. It's keeping pace a little bit faster than the Sky Striker, but for classified scale, definitely.
Now, I think there's a lot of things that play into that. I think one of the reasons is we're getting bombarded with stuff being released right now, and we're getting charged for all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue being charged for things all the way up through the release of this, or the end of the funding period, I think, for this. Myself, and I know a lot of other people probably are too, are kind of waiting to see how many we're going to be able to buy, because we're getting hit with so much other stuff. I've got stock orders coming in. I've got pre-orders for other stuff coming in. And it's all going to depend on funding for me, on how many of these I back. I would love to get 5 of them, but it looks like it's probably going to be more along the lines of 1 or 2.
I think you should do 5, because I think there's going to be some FOMO on this one. And you thought people were trying to get the Rattler and the Dragonfly. Man, people are going to regret missing this.
So Kentucky Trucking says, looking bleak for all tiers. Yeah, as of right now, in my opinion, I think it's going to fund. But I don't know if we're going to break all those tiers. I think that we'll at least get the bivouac.
I think once it funds, if we can get to the funding by tomorrow, we still got 3 more weeks to hit all the tiers. I think it's going to. People are not going to want to just be stuck with this and Frostbite, the Snowcat and Frostbite. I think they're going to want their money's worth, and I think finally it's going to start moving faster. That's just my gut feeling. I don't know, but because I'm not very confident in that funding goal at 8,000, this being worth that, but I still think it's phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of people were a little bit mistaken about what this entails. And I was hoping that San Diego Comic-Con, seeing it in person, I was hoping that was going to push this up over that funding border.
Yeah,
But
because they showed some interesting things where they were putting the bivouac inside the storage, and they were
Yeah.
showing the scale, and they were putting the polar bear and the snake eyes, and they were trying to make this into a world. And I like that environment that display they showed, because it's what you guys and I have been saying all along. It's a play set in and of itself. I wish they could have revealed during that they were going to try to turn the cloth into a cover of some sort for this, because Lenny mentioned in one of the interviews he did, I don't know if it was Travis Moody's Toy Kind of Mood, or
I have not seen any of the interviews.
Well, one of the interviews, he said that we're trying to combine the Snowcat and the APC with this offering. And I was like, that's exactly what I've been saying all this time. And they finally said that. And they haven't gotten that out of there. But I think using that cloth bivouac part, putting little holes in the corners and using those things to put that over, I think that would be a good additionally kind of functioning thing they could do. It would help this.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I totally agree. I think overall it's a good offering. I like the way that they have set this up with all of these pieces. It's a really nice update to the set.
Oh yeah.
To the Snowcat.
Yep. San Diego had some really good, interesting things. There's a lot of questions based on some of this stuff that they revealed. Dan, do you have any comments you want to add about the Snowcat?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to fund, and I think it's a poor choice. I've been talking to fans about it at the show last weekend and in my store, and then we've been running nonstop San Diego Comic-Con coverage and footage in the store. And somebody brought up the point that although the bivouac looks cool, whoever designed this has never spent time out in the cold, because you can't have an open tent in the Arctic or you'd freeze to death. I think that the bivouac would have worked better with, say, a Havoc. The Havoc would have worked better as a troop transport. And then you would have had not a niche environment. You would have had any of your figures could have been used with the Havoc. The Snowcat, we have Snow Job, and that's it.
No, Iceberg now. They announced Iceberg as a name only.
Yeah, but he's coming. He's not coming till probably 2026. But I think if you'd already had several of the snow figures out, Joe-wise, that is, I think this would have been a better sell. And I'm sorry, after getting the Rattler and opening it up, if I could have gone back in time, I wouldn't have bought the Rattler, because I spent a lot of money for a lot of hollow plastic, and I'm not real happy about that. And I mean, I think this looks cool, but I don't know many people. If I were a kid, say we were all kids, I don't think we would say, "Hey, come over, bring your Snowcat, and we'll play Gordon Ramsay and cook some food." I think more people would be interested in like more practical things. Now, I think if it was $300 or $250, and you had Flint and Lady J came with it, different story. And then you could have made your tiers be like snow shirts, and then maybe some a captured cobra or something. I think that would have been a much better sell. But I just think, I don't know, and like Terry said, there's so much stuff coming out. No one I know got the Cold Slither set because it just sold out in 2 minutes.
I got it.
Oh, you got it? How the hell did you have time? How the hell did you have time to get that with everything you had going on? I was right on that site and I couldn't get it. It went so fast.
Dude, I get everything.
Like 5 seconds.
Make a point to get everything, man. It was on the site for 50 seconds, and I was sitting there ready to put it in my cart. I got it. I got 2 of them, one for me, and I got one for a buddy of mine who's going to do a review on it as well. And that's what I'm going to do with mine. I'm going to do a review. But here's the thing. Those were a special in-stock item for just a few seconds, apparently. Yeah. But if you look at the site, this goes live for pre-order
on Wednesday.
5 days, 8 hours, 15 minutes from right now. So everybody will be able to get on and pre-order this just like they did with some of the other exclusive items.
I believe
that's one nice thing they do about that. They give you a chance to get it.
I believe it's Thursday, the 1st of August, right?
It's the 1st of August.
Yeah, and then there's pre-orders for the other wave, the Desert Scorpion, and the Steel Core with Defense Post is on Tuesday.
Terry, your comment on the steel core defense post made me spit my drink out.
What
Just
comment?
a second, and I'll go over that. But so very true. People are getting screwed over on pre-orders, getting canceled, and not being able to get Joe's when they really want.
That's
so
true. I
the
had that
pre-orders
happen to
getting
me.
canceled. There's a couple tricks to that. Everything that I order, it doesn't matter if it comes from Walmart, Target, or Hasbro Pulse. I use PayPal as my method of payment. I don't use anything else. I normally link my PayPal is linked to a preferred card to use, and I always use PayPal because I've never had anything canceled using PayPal.
Well,
That's
that
a good
might be
idea.
my trick. I may have to start using PayPal for all this stuff in the future because I got my armor bots. They send you emails like, "Hey, is your payment up to date?" Is blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah. And you click like yes, and instead of saying yeah, my payment's up to date, you're saying yeah, I want to cancel my order, and it's like
Right.
tricky. It's very tricky. So I accidentally canceled my armor bot, and now I don't have an armor bot.
Yeah, those things, man. I've got an untold number of them on order, and I got charged for and shipped 2 of them. One of which I am giving away in my GI Joe Classified Marketplace Facebook group, and the other one I sold to another collector.
What?
It was already gone before you asked anything about it.
You talking about the Cobra Snake?
Yeah, but I've got more.
Yeah,
coming.
same here.
You got yours canceled?
No, my stuff never gets canceled. I ordered 2, and already committed 1 to somebody else who missed out on it.
Well, I ordered mine and it was on order, and they gave me the verification emails, yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, canceled."
Then you
What?
canceled it by mistake.
I don't know what the frick.
You'll get it.
It's bull
We
crap.
will make sure that you get it somehow.
Please. So were you guys happy with some of the stuff that was revealed at San Diego Comic-Con? Because I didn't get Cold Slither. I'm going to try and get it on the 1st. But were you happy with some of the reveals? Were you happy with some of the name-onlys? There's some really cool stuff. There's some puzzling things. Like one of the big puzzlers is the OG-13 Short Fuse and Steeler 2-pack. Now, if Steeler's in a 2-pack with Short Fuse as a Target exclusive, by the way, so it's a double negative right there.
That's a Target exclusive?
Yes. And that means we're not getting a HasLab. Guess what?
Don't say that anything means that we are not getting anything else, because I don't believe that is the case.
I do
Yeah,
believe
they could always recolor Steeler.
I believe we're not going to get a Mobat or no, we may get the Mobat. We're not going to get the, what's the other one?
Mauler.
Which one's the first one?
Mobat.
Okay. We're not getting the Mobat.
I have to say this Comic-Con.
OG-13 Steeler, there's no way we're getting the Mobat.
I have to say this Comic-Con made me want to go to Comic-Con again. It seemed like it was really laid out. It was really laid out nice. I don't know. I might try to go next year, but
we should all try to do that and get a press thing and try to go as a group. And see
it was really nice. I think everything was really nicely presented, not just with GI Joe and Hasbro, but a lot of the other stuff. Just the video coverage I've seen of it, it just seemed like a nice presentation. A little bit more on the toy side, it looked like to me than previous years.
Oh yeah,
which is good.
Oh yeah, way heavier on toys, less on movies, a lot of comics, but definitely heavier on toys this year.
This new Viper is going to be hot.
Ghost Viper.
Oh, he's cool.
Did you? Well, you didn't. You haven't watched any videos or any interviews, but Lenny and them are like, we thought Crystal Ball needed his own troops. I was like, what? Since when does Crystal Ball need his own troops?
Hey, we
Well,
don't know
that-
what Crystal Ball is actually going to be, man. Like, I mean, I think he's going to be in the Energon universe, and I think these guys might be in the Energon universe as well.
I think so
Possibly.
too. And something in that interview, because I didn't hear Lenny say it. We had to rewind it at the shop. But he had said something like back with Crystal Ball, he uses holographic technology, and apparently the same with this Ghost Viper. And Lenny coined some phrase they use some type of tech, and I looked at my buddy and I said, "That's the way in for visionaries."
Yeah, that's definitely the way in for visionaries.
Because you could kind of duplicate that, with them.
Again, like I just want to give a shout out to the Full Force. We use a lot of their stuff here, looking at a lot of their photos and whatnot on this channel when we do our live streams. They always have the scoop on everything. But the Tactical Battle Toilet is going to be a killer set with the Pooh Core Trooper.
When I saw this, I was like, really? It's just a G.I. Joe version of the Cobra one that we already got, except
And I don't care, and I'll take it.
It's got the sandbags. It's got the missile launcher that's from the Ostriker or wherever that missile launcher was reused from. And another steel core. What is this? The fourth steel core we've gotten? Why isn't there a green shirt? Why isn't there a green shirt with this?
These are the green shirts because green shirts are boring, David.
Okay.
I think they're using the Steel Brigade or Steel Corps rather, as much as they can to rub salt in the wound with somebody.
So the green shirt that's in
If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know.
The green shirt that's in the vintage line is now going to be the vintage green shirt, and the classified green shirt is now the Steel Corps.
So here's the thing, dude. Like back several years ago, Red Laser's Army and Black Major, both third-party O-ring producers, made a ton of different Steel Brigade figures. Right. All kinds of different ones. One of my favorites is actually the Tiger Force Steel Brigade and the Night Force Steel Brigade. Those are two of my favorites.
Yeah.
And I've got both of those hanging back here behind me. They used the hell out of the Steel Brigade as troop builders, and I think it was an awesome idea. I think maybe classified as playing into that a little bit.
Possibly.
Especially since we got a Night Force Steel Brigade and they used that Steel Brigade helmet in other sets as well.
Yeah, that was the motorcycle with what?
Shockwave.
Shockwave.
Yeah, the Night Force Shockwave. They use it there. They use it for the Tiger Paw as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the four-wheeler. Yeah, you're right, because Wreckage had it. Yep, you're right. Yep. Or Sabretooth. Sabretooth, I think, right?
I thought they called him Wreckage.
Do we have an ETA when we're getting the Cobra version of this? Because I thought we were supposed to have it like 6 months.
I don't know, man. I don't know when we're getting the latrine Viper and the surveillance portalet.
I don't even remember how much it cost.
It was around 40 or so, but yeah, that's the last one of the 2025 pre-orders. I think this is the last, not this one, but the Cobra version is the last of the 2025 pre-orders. I think we've got everything that was pre-ordered in 2025 now, because Law and Order started shipping. He was one of the last ones. So this one's, there's a delay. There was a production delay, I think.
There was a production delay, but they're available from China.
Wow, yeah.
There's a shipping delay.
Shipping delay, whatever, production delay. They said that when the dial tones came late, there was a production delay that separated him from the other three, and that's why he came in June. And so I'm thinking the same thing for this.
Yeah, that may very well be, man. It does get a little bit annoying how the latrine Viper has been available in China or from China for months, and we can't seem to get him here.
Well, that's one of the least things that I'm worried about. I really wanted that armor bot so bad, and I was really looking forward to when I got my email saying, hey, we're shipping, and then all of a sudden, hey, is your address right?
You know, as a matter of fact, the snake really did remind me a lot of the armor bot. It reminded me a lot of the Steel Brigade armor bot.
Yeah, I love
I can
Max
see
like
that.
you do. I really wanted that so bad. That was one of my most anticipated things for this year. This is my least anticipated, the Cobra version. So I don't even care about it. But I think there are definitely there's some definite interesting things that came out of San Diego Comic Con this year for Hasbro, Classified and everything.
What'd you
Um,
guys think of Pythona?
well, that was
We'll,
one of the most interesting things. Python is spot on,
we'll get
perfect,
to Pythona.
perfect.
I wanna have an in-depth conversation about Pythona. But
Oh
check
yeah,
this out.
yeah. It looks great. It looks
Fighting with the
wonderful.
giant scorpion.
Oh
That
yeah,
makes
he's
me think of
attacking
Attack of the Titans.
Yeah, yeah. It looks great. I love it, but it's just like, you know. I think we could have waited another year for this. We didn't really need this right after the Cobra one. You know, they took a couple years between the MMS and the HMS. We could have waited another year to get this, to get the excitement on it. I don't know, whatever.
Scorpion parts laying around on the ground. I think it's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
I
it is
love that.
awesome.
I think this is absolutely killer.
Well, you like play sets more than figures, I think.
I do like play sets a lot. I really do. Let's take a look at the Desert Scorpion real quick.
No, he looks cool. Did you?
He
Now,
looks pretty awesome.
they've explained his origin a little bit. So these scorpions are genetically made by Dr. Mindbender, and they are real scorpions that have been enhanced, and he has to have some sort of device to control them, the desert scorpions. So they're mutated scorpions.
Okay. That makes
They
sense.
they could fight the snowcat.
Yeah.
Poop
Yeah, I
Boys
think
Snowcat.
those look really. I think those look really cool.
Yeah, the visual looks really cool. I like the fact that they're mixing and matching stuff. But there was somewhere I read the other day where they've run out of Cobras for the 80s. There's like no Cobras to do in the 80s. They've done them all. So now they have to go to the 90s and wherever and create their own Cobras because it's like no key Cobras to do.
I think that's quite inaccurate because I think there's a ton of.
Well, Iron Grenadiers, yes, but not Cobras.
There's a bunch of Cobras they could do, man.
Ooh, who's left?
Dr. Venom, Scarface,
No,
Lieutenant Claymore.
From the 82 to 94 line, there's not a lot of distinct Cobras other than Troops and Iron Grenadiers.
Well, yeah, most of the Cobras are going to be troopers, I think. So, on to what Dan wanted to talk about here.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
She's spot on.
I
Did
think
you ever
she's
think-
beyond pretty cool.
Did you ever think we'd live in a world where we get Cobra Law figures?
No,
No.
but I'm super happy, and I want to know who this is back here in the smoke behind her.
It's probably Globulus or a Trooper or a Cobra Royal Trooper or something. The problem with a lot of these things is they throw oddball characters that they intend for you never to guess. Like the fact that crystal ball figure turned out to be not Budo. Who was it in the back of Nemesis Enforcer?
It was Crystal
Ball. Yeah. Like who would have guessed Crystal Ball would have been back there?
Dude, you gotta look at all this stuff though, man. She comes with a ton of stuff. Like everything about her is super detailed.
From what
Check
I
out her
saw,
feet.
every single thing that she uses in the movie, she has as an accessory.
Yes.
That's pretty neat.
I absolutely love this face. And as a matter of fact, my daughter saw this and was like, I need that. I want that. I want that because she's scary.
Your daughter's going to end up being goth when she grows up.
That's fine. She's already into horror movies and all that stuff. So,
well, that's great.
Yeah, I love the fact that she comes with a ton of stuff.
Different hands. I love the hot dog finger hand. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool.
All the different creepy crawlies and this and that. Yeah, she matches exactly up with Nemesis Enforcer. I'd have to go and get them over there, and the Cobra Commander. So I'm glad that they're doing this, the Cobra Law stuff, one a year or one every 8 months or something. Don't rush it. keep that excitement, keep that anticipation for these, because we still got what, the Royal Guards, we got Globulus, we got Citizens. If they do Citizens, I hope they do.
Somebody yesterday said he wanted to get one of the Golden Girl NECA figures to put with Metalhead.
See, I totally agree
his
with,
grandmother.
Yeah,
I totally agree with Jay Combs here. That the Cobra Law and Energon universe really gives G.I. Joe that military fantasy aspect. And that's what I've always loved about G.I. Joe. Even when I was a kid, I was into horror, sci-fi, fantasy. And G.I. Joe, what they did with the cartoon, what they did later on with like the Eco Warriors and the Toxo Zombies, like that was right up my alley. I loved every bit of that.
I'm on the
when I was younger, I was more into it being the strictly military, although I love the cartoon. But as I've gotten older, it's like I appreciate all that stuff now. And I like the idea that G.I. Joe can exist to fight terrorist groups. They can fight Cobra. They can fight Cobra Law. They can be involved in all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Because they're basically superheroes. They're real superheroes.
Cobra Emperor mentioning the Action Force O-Ring figures. Yes, they are coming out with a line of O-Ring figures, and they will... Bobby Vance, I believe, did the sculpting for those of Lone Wolf toys, and I think Matt LaCroix is doing the Paint Masters. God damn,
come on. So this guy, the Grim Viper. So this is the fourth, I think, Range Viper that we've gotten. So now you really can have a squad of Range Vipers in different capacities to do different tasks. And these basically what they have in the Stormtroopers for Star Wars, the heavy machine gunner Stormtrooper of the Range Vipers. So now we have a new niche for that.
So this kind of falls into the same category as the Twilight Guard or Twilight Viper.
Yeah,
I think it was Twilight Guard is what they called him.
Yeah, Twilight Guard.
It's just a repainted kit bash of other stuff. He's got Saw Viper's heavy armor vest.
Yeah,
it's still a cool figure, and I think it's great that they're doing this for a troop builder.
Yeah,
just a quick, easy variation of the Range Viper. I love the Range Viper. The Range Viper is awesome. I've always liked the Range Viper, but in the classified series, I think they did an awesome job with him.
I love this guy's paint deco on his face. I don't know if you can get a really close picture, but he looks menacing.
Hey, real quick, you guys mentioned Star Wars. Did you see the Star Wars HasLab?
Yes.
The lap is that 6-inch or is it 4-inch?
4-inch. Or it's called vintage scale. I'm gonna keep my
once we get through these, I'll pull it up and we'll look at it on the HasLab page.
Yeah,
because I was thinking that would make a great Cobra vehicle.
No, it's vintage scale, so it's not going to work. But yeah, I think this is a phenomenal use of parts and things. Something that slides into a niche we didn't have. And I think what you were alluding to with the Twilight Guard is they've done this 3 or 4 times now. We've got like that. The Twilight Guard, we got him. We even got that Vipra, Tiger Force Vipra.
Yes.
That was kind of a mix and match. And then we got the, it was something else. And I want to make sure I don't make a mistake. I don't want anybody to get upset.
The Blue Ninjas.
The Blue Ninjas is another one.
That's a really fun set.
And then there's another one. There's another Cobra troop builder that they did recently. I'm trying to figure out who it was. That was
I do like that 788 Range Viper.
Yeah, that was a beautiful one. That whole 788 range, love that range. I love that.
I want to bring something up real quick. I like that I always get annoyed when I hear people pay attention or people talk about the numbering on the packages and they're like, well, there's not that many Joes left to do. And these people obviously don't know G.I. Joe because there's hundreds of Joes. But I like that they're doing stuff like this figure. I like they're doing the Ghost Viper.
Yeah,
but it's also funny too because people will complain about stuff like the Ghost Viper, and I'm like, but it's something new and different. What and it falls into line with the science fiction, fantasy, military stuff. But I like it
in the 1980s.
Yeah, I like how they're doing different things.
But that's the problem. people are so nitpicky about stuff. But if you look at like the early 2000s, you look at the mid 2000s, you looked at even the 50th anniversary, they were adding stuff to the brand on all those periods. You know, you got the cool jungle bat, you got the techno bat, you got Shooter. There was never a Shooter figure. That was the first 50th
And here's the
anniversary
thing too, like once we
What the
kind of
hell?
run, once we eventually, if we do run through every figure ever made, they can make new ones, or we can start over and do different decos. Like,
Exactly.
Dude,
God
I'm all
forbid,
about new figures.
God forbid
Yeah.
Flint changes clothes, you
Yeah,
know, and maybe have a
exactly.
different, you know, or because the one thing I like about the Snowcat, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on the Snowcat. I think it's a phenomenal thing, but I just think it's way overpriced, and I don't think you're really getting good value in it. But I do like that we get Arctic Lady J and Arctic Flint, because I'm happy if they do desert versions, Arctic versions, scuba versions,
Yes,
all that stuff.
absolutely.
I'm
And
good with
there's
that.
the thing. There's one of the interviews, actually two of the interviews Lenny and Tony and Emily did for San Diego Comic-Con. They said, and I was shocked when they said this, we want to do everything that has ever been done in G.I. Joe in classified scale, and then we will go back and do it again.
And see, here's the thing that excites me, that we could probably get a hard master, we could probably get a soft master, we could get the young master, not just a Storm Shadow repaint,
Billy,
and him as the young master, you know, and
Blind
some of
Master,
their Rashikaje ninjas,
Blurred
you know,
Master, the
just
Sword
generic ninjas, you know, not the red ninjas, but generic. And just, I think that's cool. Dr. Venom, Tomax and Zaymot in their business suits.
So, what do you
You
guys
know?
think about this one?
I think it looks great.
I think it's a very good classified upscale of this character. Obviously, they muted the color scheme, which I knew they were going to do. It's not going to be exactly like the vintage, so I'm perfectly fine. I think it's a fantastic figure.
I am
don't
more
think
than happy with something in the classified boxed set not being just like the vintage.
Yes, yep, me too. I don't think he looks like what's his name. Everybody's saying he looks like some actor. I don't know.
I think he looks good. And I'm okay with it being a little bit different. I mean,
and then
again,
the flippers are the flippers for the that Cobra diver. What's his name? The
Cobra Hill?
No, there's the next diver that's like a genetically
yeah, I know what you're talking
diver.
about. The shoot,
I can't remember.
I see it in my head, because they have the hands are different too.
Right, and they have a stingray with them, but I don't want to say the name and make a mistake.
Oh, Hydra Viper.
Hydra Viper. There you go.
Hydra Viper.
So I want to point something out here. A couple people made fun of the pistol, but that's an H&K P11.
So it looks
Yeah,
fun.
I think he looks pretty solid.
Yep, solid.
I'm hoping we get a classified Devilfish soon.
According to the interviews again from San Diego Comic-Con, you're not seeing water vehicles for a while. But it doesn't make sense, because we've got now with wetsuits 7 different divers that have been produced. 7 different, not including Shipwreck, that would be 8 seafaring characters that have been produced so far in classified scale.
Huh.
So you got Torpedo, right? You got Eels version 1, Eels version 1.2 for the vintage. You got Shipwreck.
So it's also the SPP1.
Well, was there a stink over that? What was the problem?
People just thought it was an odd. Some people that I had seen comment on the pistol thought that it was kind of odd looking, but it is a real world gun that they've brought into the G.I. Joe classified line.
And they said they're going to do that. I've heard them talk about that. They want to bring real stuff into this and make it more realistic.
You know, and go back to the starting over or doing figures we haven't got before. I cannot wait till they do a Energon Universe Baroness.
Yeah,
Chameleon.
Yes, absolutely.
That's another thing they said during some of these interviews, is that there's nothing in the lore that is out of bounds for classified. They will look at everything and they will interpret it and upgrade it and add and this and that. And I was like, great.
So speaking of updates, I'm actually pretty impressed with what they did with mainframe.
Yes, now this is a definite update to the vintage version, and it's good updates, good
Yes.
add-ons, good inclusions.
Yeah, I think they did a great job updating mainframe for the classified line, and they can still use that body for the retro card line and make a very retro looking mainframe.
It would be a different set of legs, probably would be about the main thing, and some of his gear would be different, but that's about all you would need to do. And the paint would be a lot darker, I think, or maybe brighter. I can't tell, but I do remember them saying when they were talking about this that the gray is a different gray than the vintage, so they would change the gray.
Do people really get that worked up about the grays?
Well, when it comes to vintage versus classified, people want a more distinct difference. So I think the classified team is making a concerted effort to do things differently, so there is a difference. Now, sci-fi is like a grand slam, but another case, he's muted. Another muted version of the color scheme, because the vintage one is way more lime than this. This is more like, I would say, sherbet.
He's almost like a pea green.
Pea green, yeah, maybe a pea green. I agree. I don't know if that's the right terminology.
I like him though. I think he's
he looks phenomenal. The fact that they did two laser add-ons, they can go together or they can come apart and be different type of laser effects for his laser gun, which is phenomenal. That shows they're thinking ahead. They're giving variation options. They're really trying to include everything they can. But yeah, that sci-fi, we've been waiting a long time to get this sci-fi because of the Operation Blackout rumors for years. We thought we were going to get them. We never did. And Lenny said he would like to go back to Operation Blackout and do versions of the characters. I'm like, I bet you would.
All right, so I said that we'd get on to the Star Wars HasLab and talk about that a little bit. Let me share this screen. And not being a huge Star Wars fan, I think that to me, this really isn't like an iconic ship that I immediately recognize.
It's a Clone Wars ship.
What's the cost on that? What was in Revenge of the Sith and Clone Attack of the Clones?
So this is $449.99.
That's expensive for a vintage scale.
Okay, so my buddy and I were talking about this because he's huge into this, right? And he said that we were both saying that, like, because we thought it was classified scale at first, Black Series.
No.
And I said, man, I might get one of these because I would use it for Cobra or the Joes, Future Tech or whatever. And then we saw it was the vintage collection, which you guys confirmed. And it's like, so, and he made the good point that, so basically we already had this like 10 years ago.
Well, we had a version, not this exact one. There was a normal, skinnier version of this, but this is the ultimate version.
Sure, but they've done several versions of this because I've sold them in my store over the
there are.
years. But it's like now something that was probably $50 to $80, you now want me to spend $400 and some odd dollars on. So that's a hard pass for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what the logic in this is, but I know it's not getting a lot of love.
And you've got,
I mean, if it was 6-inch scale, I would be like, man, I might get this.
Who are those add-ons?
That's what I'm going to. I accidentally clicked on one of them instead of just scrolling down to it.
So that's a new character. We've never had that character before. Plo Koon we've had, or whatever this guy is. We've had him.
Yeah, Coleman Trebor.
Yeah, that's a new character.
CC10.
Yeah, CC10. We've had plenty of him.
Coleman we've had before. Not in this line, but in the original Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith stuff.
Go back up to that top guy. That guy, can you click on that and get a bigger picture of that, Terry?
Nope. I can just expand it. But I don't really see anything too special here with the tier unlocks, man. I don't foresee this. I could be totally wrong, but I don't foresee this being a successful HasLab for Star Wars. I see this going the way of the Rancor.
Yeah, I think you're right. I agree.
Hey, what's up, Punk?
Oh, hi, Punk.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Makes you wonder what they're thinking when they come up with these HasLabs. Because like Jabba Cell Barge, I can see that as a HasLab. You know, his tank, I can see that as a HasLab. But like something like this that, you know, was in retail not that long ago. It just makes you wonder.
Who is the bottom
Again,
tier?
if it was 6-inch scale, I could totally see it.
Terry, who is the bottom tier? Just curious.
And that one gets unlocked at 14,000 backers.
Who's this guy? I don't recognize this guy. Ajin Kolar. I don't know. He looks new. He looks like a new character I haven't seen before as a figure.
I get to see.
Oh, is she? I'm a fairly decent Star Wars collector. I have probably hundreds of thousands of Star Wars figures. So I'm very versed in Star Wars, but I don't recognize this character as a figure. But I could be wrong. Don't crucify me if I am wrong. I don't recognize whoever this is.
I don't recognize who that is either. And
I think she made a real quick shot in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, she's one of the ones that got shot and killed like right away, right?
Yeah, in the arena.
Yeah, in the arena scene with all the Jedis fighting. That was one of the ones that got killed pretty soon. So, yeah, I don't think they did that figure. And I don't think they did that guy with the green head.
Yeah, not really excited about this Star Wars HasLab.
Can you go to the G.I. Joe name onlys, Terry?
The name onlys? No, I don't have that pulled up.
Well, there's some really good name onlys.
I know Night Viper was one of them.
Yep.
That's one I'm looking forward to.
Lifeline, Big Lob.
Big Lob, Hit and Run, and
Hit and Run's going to be
Iceberg.
Really good.
Iceberg.
So a really nice lineup of name onlys. People have been wanting Lifeline for quite a long time.
Tease Lab.
Very cool.
$1 Million Medic.
Well, and it was announced he is going to come with his pistol.
Lifeline is he's going to come with his flare pistol or the actual gun.
I'm thinking the gun. Lenny answered that at the panel. Yes,
Lifeline. Knowing Lifeline, it'll probably be a water pistol.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure that's going to be a deluxe figure because they're going to have to include a lot more than they include with Doc, in my opinion, to make that a viable figure. Just don't do him with his backpack and a couple of accessories. He's got to have gurneys. He's got to have defibrillator equipment, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, he's going to have all the original gear. Plus, they can make a Tiger Force version of him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know. We got a pretty bad group here. We're not very good at the technical parts. Punk with Toys.
Yeah, we got to fire our technical people. Our production.
Yeah, we didn't put any slides together. We're just kind of looking at stuff on sites as we.
Yeah, we're not as advanced as Baldy Locks.
It's not as professional of a production as Circle of Jerks.
No, which is very strange. You'd think Circle of Jerks would be less production value, and this would be more, but it's the opposite.
Right.
Oh man. Why don't we invite Punk with Toys on here as a guest moderator, guest person, and then he can bring some slides with him.
Yeah, maybe we can do that if he gets an opportunity to join us one day, man. Like one day here in the next week or so. But we are at our hour, so it's time to bid you all farewell.
Well, I hope everybody has a good week. Last week was a strange week for everybody. I mean, Terry,
Yes.
you went through the ringer, and our hearts go out to you guys going through that. And then, our country and our world lost some really interesting characters this past week, some very iconic people. And so hopefully the lesson from all this is love each other, be good to each other, because at the end of the day, we're all we got, and you don't know how long that is. So make your mark in life and do good and be good.
Yep, I 100% agree with you.
All right. Thanks for joining in, and we'll see you again next Sunday on the Toy Talk live stream. Be
Go
sure
Joe.
to
Have a good week.
join in Circle of Jerks on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m.
That is a ball, by the way. If you haven't had an opportunity to go to their channel, it is such a funny thing. It's like watching the old comedy shows from the 80s. I love it.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
Have a good week, everybody.
Take care, everybody.